You all get stuck by the radio set. No, let me not make the Nairametrics team feel cool. You are stuck there every day, Mondays to Friday, whether they're here or not. But of course, when it concerns money, I don't know why Ogiva is laughing. When it concerns money, you also want to know about your money. Particularly, please send questions. Ask them how you're going to manage 70,000 Naira as a minimum wage earner, and you can build a house in 3 years. Ogiva has an answer to that. Ogiva.
I don't know where that money is. But you will build it in Jesus' name.
Amen. Let's go spiritual.
Good to have you here.
Yes.
Go have Tolu here. And today we are talking.
Let Tolu say hi for us. Can you just, please, gender balance?
Excuse me, please.
Respect.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Pardon me.
Hi, Tolu. How are you?
Morning.
Yeah. How are you doing, Tolu? Morning
fine.
to you.
Good morning.
Yeah. Are you excited? You look different. Is it because of the 70,000 increment? Consequential increase. I know you earn like 650, but consequential increment, that might mean you go to 700 and something, right?
Yeah, sure.
Are you laughing at me or laughing at yourself? Both. All right, don't give her.
Yeah, so, today we're looking at the renewed social reality, right? Hospitality business and its customers, So obviously, myself and everyone else, we are the customers in this conversation. And we have our entrepreneur here today, Olubumi Adetiba, founder of the Hives Relay and Lekki.
Hello.
Here,
Yeah, good to be here.
So I think we'll go straight to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we all agree, right? Things are like tough, crazy out there right now, right? So, we've been talking about how to manage households, for a while now, but now we're going outside the house, right?
Yeah.
So, we decided to start with hospitality, right? And you've been in the business for a while, so how has the recent rise in cost of living, right? How has it affected your operational costs? Your strategies, and how have you implemented a strategy to manage this recent change?
That's a very heavy question. First of all, hi guys. Good morning. The cost of living is impacted the hospitality sector a lot. First of all, you have to realize that our sector is one where we deal with disposable income. So people have to, you pay all their needs, all the important things, your electricity, your rent, all those things are paid first before you have something to dispose about, before you now think about going somewhere and, having fun. So the less disposable income that there is, the less there's less resources there to spend. So it's been a challenge in the last 6 months to 9 months. A lot of things have had to be done. A lot of sacrifices have had to be done. A lot of hard choices have had to be done. And I think any entrepreneur in this climate is not ready to make those hard choices. It's not ready to be in business, So really, I would say for us, immediately the exchange rate started going crazy, and one of the first things we did was cut costs. Yeah. And it's ironic that in today is synonymous with the increase in with minimum wage and all that. And
I was going to get to that.
Well, no, because it all comes out as an executive, as a chief executive, you have to cut your costs. So what we did, we streamlined our staff. So
you had to let people go.
We had to let people go, and unfortunately, this is the hard realities of staying in business in this kind of time. So yes, that was, we had to cut our costs. We had to look at really to expenditure.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Some people have lost their jobs.
I hope my bosses are not listening. That's it. When you said that, I said, you shouldn't have said this on the morning. Is that
Well, it's not only the hospitality business. If the minimum wage is to actually increase across board, it would mean that companies will have to make tough decisions, because as it is, it's hard. If you go somewhere now and you're telling you to buy turkey now, one lap of turkey, we all know how much turkey costs. You're not telling you to buy turkey now for 10,000 naira. It's going to be difficult now. It's expensive. So to make sure that it's as low as you can make it, you're going to have to make some cuts.
Yeah, I mean, when you said turkey, it shows you're a big man. People now use chicken seasoning, not the chicken itself. You only smell it. Then when you're like, where's the chicken? They say, can't you see the egg there? I don't know the same family. Protein, just taking it out.
I will even tell you, for instance, one of the things we're talking about, which is the change of taste, the size of the turkey, right? We used to have a certain size of turkey, and when that got too expensive, and people still want turkey, so we went to the baby size, smaller size, to make it a little more. So you still want your rice and turkey. Turkey there,
but it can't be the same.
The turkey is like a chicken hybrid.
And replaces me now as a customer, right? So I've reduced the way I go out. Do you understand? And there has to be value in it, right? And even when I do, especially to an establishment like yours, right? I will want the best, right?
Value, yeah.
You want value. But these days, can you actually afford the value that you are demanding? Because, like you said, now the turkey size will have to change.
You will.
Do you understand? And I'm sure Tolu doesn't even go out again. All those girls night out don't end.
No, but I mean, Tolu probably, have fans. Fans.
Outing, you mean, right?
Yeah, but
so, give us your customer experience too.
I mean, so with the rising cost of things, you have to cut costs. Exactly. You have to choose like your scale of preference. Do I need to go out now? Do I not? Do I need to go in group? Do I need to take my friends, my sister? Okay, let's go so we can like split the bills, and then it can, be reasonable enough. Or like things like that. Basically.
I also want to add that we have had to be creative. With certain things. We've had to, for instance, we noticed the increase in the amount of cocktails being sold as opposed to bottles. So you have situation where people switch. You notice the increase in the amount of beers being sold as opposed to bottles again. Yes. So we've had to, introduce other cocktails, cheaper cocktails, things that make it easier for people, deals, loyalty deals, buy one, get one free, buy two, get, all those kind of things. So we've had to be creative, but the most important thing is watching the bottom line. Let me even say a small story. I remember we had a client that was coming in for a birthday party, and they had come in, we had discussed prices, they had put the deposit down on a Tuesday. The party was for Friday. So come Thursday, we now decided to prepare for the party, go to meet our vendors, buy things ready for the party. One of the high quality whiskeys that they asked for 5 bottles of it, had gone from our sales price as we used to sell it at 95,000. As at Thursday that day, we were buying it at 97,000.
Okay.
So immediately everything was out of the window.
Yeah.
So of course when it came, now we had to now sell it at 100 and something thousand. So that budget has scattered already.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was about to just ask you.
How many days?
In 4 days. So
so I was about to ask you, the challenges you go through, trying to maintain this customer satisfaction.
It is difficult. You have customers that would come. They came last week, they bought a bottle at a certain price. That's what they have in their head. Then they come this week, they don't even ask. They just say, give me that thing. Right? Then you now come and give bill. Hey! But this is not the price. So we've had to be a little more. And then, of course, now we've now cut down our staff. So we're not... It's
effective.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
Because the customers, people like me, mommy, I'm not going out to. I want to spend too much. Well, I feel you, and I think the question now is will it get better at this rate? Do you understand? Now, minimum wage, like you said, 70K. Do you understand? How can people? So if at this rate, like people won't even be going out as much.
You know, that's the thing I always ask when people say this minimum wage thing. First of all, very few private companies are down there. I mean, if you want to give your waitress 30,000 naira, guarantee you will not find any waitress for 30,000 naira. So let's be frank, you know, that's not even possible. So in the private sector, the minimum wage has gone up. But the thing is that we have to be careful with is that what it means is that that's the minimum you can pay anybody by law.
70,000.
Yes. So right down to the person that washes your plates. Right. So once you are in that kind of situation, it means that everything is graduated up. So if you are paying the person washing your plate 30,000 and you're paying your waitress 70,000, now that goes up to 70,000 person washing your plate. Your waitress now has to go up to 150,000.
Yeah.
So of course that means your price of chicken has to go up to pay for this price because it's so. It's easy for us to. I mean, I remember when we were saying this 600 and something thousand.
I was just going to ask you if how that will have.
I was just laughing. I say,
minimum
all of us will be watching each other from home. But it's difficult. So and let's be honest, it's not going to be. A lot of companies are not going to reflect that minimum wage. A lot of people. I mean, if you're going to pay a security man that comes at a certain period in time, for you to be able to pay him 70,000 and above every month, it's difficult, you know. And so, I don't know. Sometimes it's eye service. Many people have paid the old 30,000 complete.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's eye service. So, interesting times in coming.
Yeah. So,
but we are asking if this will get better.
Yeah.
For me, I believe in stability. So, if we are stable, if prices remain stable, if the exchange rate remains stable, if inflation, you know, comes down a bit, then yes, people will get used to it. But if not, it's going to be difficult, you know. So as long as it's stable, then after a while you get a medium point, and then we'll move ahead. But if we continue with this inflation rate that we're going, I can't really tell you where we'll be in a year's time.
We'll crash.
Yeah.
See.
It's crazy.
You know, so Tolu now, I want to bring you into the conversation, right?
Okay.
So if you're going out, right, to for some hospitality service, right?
Okay.
What or a restaurant, a hotel, or so what would be the top factors you consider? You understand, before you go, you know, to any of those kind of establishments. Like this is seeing it from the customer's
point of view, yeah. So consider the pricing. Okay, I'll consider the menu exactly. And now things have been made easier. You don't need to walk into the restaurant or the hospitality business just to get to know how much those things cost. I can just like check my phone on their social media and say, oh, yeah, and see their menu. So I'll consider the menu, the pricing, and all of that before I step out and say, okay, I want to do this. I can also consider, okay, maybe if they are running like a promo or something like, yeah, a promo. Like if you want to order food online, you say, okay, you have a discount for something, discount for the food. And, you know, there are some restaurants nowadays that, okay, you can have unlimited cocktails. Can use that opportunity to like go out and all of that. And then what else would I consider? Let's see. The taste too. Let's not forget that. Yeah. You try and consider that. Where I can get a little bit of quantity and quality, you understand, with my money. Yeah.
You heard it from the hospital.
Yes, so I've been keeping notes.
I know, because I haven't, like she mentioned the unlimited cocktails. So I know I have a friend too that has a sport, right? He we're talking and he told me like, man, dudes are not buying drinks anymore. You know, they've even started going lower. You know, people that buy maybe single malt and now going for, you know, the regulars, people that are doing exos and they are not drinking. So he now introduced the, what's it called? Unlimited cocktails. I said, now there are so many drunk people in it.
Yeah, so
because everybody's just on the unlimited cocktails, you understand? And I think he gives it for like 20K.
And unlimited cocktails only works when people are not alcoholics. So if somebody's unlimited cocktail and drinks you into out of business, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Looking at it from around, because there are a lot of things you mix into it, right? Exactly.
So if someone comes out and drinks 6 cups, you have lost money. So you're only banking like most buffet services that most people are not going to take that threshold. But
you think so?
That's the bank. That's what you're hoping for.
Okay.
That's all. But that's other things. That things that we do. I mean, I know OG here, Ogiva has won some of our prizes, one of our games that we do. So we do things like that. So
we know one of the places where you hang out now. Okay. All right.
Yes. I was so happy. You guys keep it up, please. Let me know where you're doing.
But the whole idea about that is that because when you buy that or when we give that away, first of all, there's so many people that that want to get that prize, and then when you will come with your friends. You won't drink it by yourself. Then of course you eat. You would you would buy Coke. You would buy all those other things, and we order get your money from other places. So I think I said we have to be. And this time I keep telling people that it is time, it's time for you to be very creative as an entrepreneur. It's time for you to show exactly what your value is. You need to be able to identify what your value is, who your target market is, and hone in on that. It's not the time, there's a time like largesse when everything is just doing well. This is the time where I know how many places have closed in the last 6 months. How many places I go, that guy is not there anymore.
Yeah,
so
a lot. A whole lot.
And then and it's the time to be creative. It's the time to do other things that is not usual.
Yeah, that's nice. So Kayode,
like stay at home.
Interested in starting your hospitality business?
Well, let's see. Let's see what happens in the next 4 years. Maybe by the time you guys come out of this recession-like economy, then we'll hit you with it. So you can take some of your money.
Not my money.
It might actually be sometimes, they say adversity brings opportunity. So it might actually be the time to enter,
into it.
Exactly.
Well, maybe I'll bring alternative drinks.
Exactly.
Something you need to go local and traditional at the time. Let's look at our culture. How many people have tried serving Gary water? Spiced
on the
rocks, with some gin and that kind of blend. It won't be too expensive. Not the Gary itself, just the water.
Do you know there's a cocktail?
Shut down that place.
There's a cocktail with Gary water. It's in a high-end restaurant. So use Gary water.
You see? I'm deep, man. Guys, if you're looking for a mixer, just reach out to me, man. I could help you out.
Are you serious? Gary water.
Gary water.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's time to be creative. It's time people, things to pick. And then unfortunately, there's how will I put it? There are other people that have their places in the pipeline that have thought about coming up. So there are a whole lot of new joints that have opened up.
Really?
While
some are closing down.
That's the thing about Lagos. There's so many places that have opened up in the last 3 or 4 months. And the truth about it is, if they open up 3 or 4 months, you've already been in the pipeline since, you've already been modeling. So you can't now say, I'm not going to open because the recession is, we are having a pricing crisis. But, it's interesting times. One of the advices I would say is you have to have a pulse on the pricing.
Yeah.
You have to have the pulse on pricing. You have to think about purchasing. We used to do weekly purchasing. You just look at what is happening and then make it weekly. Now we realize that we have to do monthly or 2 months if we can, because you just have to have economy of scale, put all those things into play so that it is cheaper. It is cheaper for you, and then you're able to hold your pricing for a period of time. So if the price fluctuation happen because you have bought it in bulk, you're able to ride it up instead of changing every week. So there are a couple of things that need to, not this Harvard.
It's good you mentioned, because I was having this conversation with some people a while back, right? So you stock, right? You stock at 1,000 naira, right? And you're now selling. You're looking to offload your stock, sell out, right? Then you've done that. You go back to repurchase and the pricing. Sorry, before you sold out, the pricing has already changed.
Yeah. Do you mark up?
Yeah. Do you mark up or not? And the other person was like, no. Why will you do it? You bought it at this price. Why did that? You are being greedy.
That person is not my business.
Yeah. Go on, because you have to earn your purchasing power, right? You need to earn your money going back to purchase, to reload your stock, as against just rolling with you, because then you'll be behind now.
Oh yes, and cash flow is. I mean, anyone that knows into his cash is king. So you can actually go out of business with stock. You can have all these things. So you have to make sure your cash flow, enough things to buy and things. But it's important, like I said, put a pulse. So if they've increased the price of, say, chicken, right? Because first of all, you bought at a certain price, you are not pushed to increase immediately. So, but you are going to increase, that's for sure. It's just now when you're going to do it you're now at your own pace. You can now make your own strategy on how you're going to, do that, towards purchasing the whole thing. So it's important, it's important to have a pulse on the market. So even though we don't go to the market every week as we used to, we're constantly checking what the prices of things are and things. And I have to say though, Nigeria has a whole lot of different moving parts. This pepper thing, for instance, now, in the last couple of months has been crazy. So one of the things we've had to do, and is unorthodox, is so we give out a bowl of pepper every time with yam. Now, the second bowl, if you order for another bowl, so after you get it with yam, I say, can I have another piece of pepper? Well, that is 1,000 naira extra.
Straight up.
That used to be free. So can I have some extra sauce?
No problem. We will pepper you small.
Well, pepper don't cost. So we now had to make that a different cost, that you pay for. So when there's a different cost, either you use your old pepper well,
yes.
You're willing to.
Or you're willing to pay that extra cost. So it's but the weird part is that you still see people that would come and spend, you still come and spend $1 million, $2 million. So the disparity.
Yeah, that's where I am. So in the midst of all this, right, people are still crying out 70K. Even we are still complaining about. We are still like if they went 615. In the midst of all this, there are still people going out.
No, but Nigeria is always it's a case study on its own. No economic structure or standard or strategy applies in Nigeria. And what you said makes sense, because when you look at, for example, last year, while manufacturers are shutting down because of poor business, banks were having a windfall in forex trading. While last year, a lot of us are complaining that things are not going well, a lot of companies who've released their year-on-year report have cashed out. So you keep asking, where are they getting? Where are the consumers?
Yeah, where are the consumers? So a lot of restaurants too came up from that COVID period, right? A whole lot of restaurants. And they've not stopped popping up since then. Meanwhile, we're talking about a date that probably cost you over 100K.
So who are people spending?
Maybe there are too many ghosts in Nigeria.
Tolu dates go reduce.
Is it 9 to 5 hours that are spending this money, or the entrepreneurs? Because
so you are taking us back to last week. So last week we were like, we spoke about the 9 to 5 versus entrepreneurship, right? Which is a guaranteed path to success.
Interesting.
You understand? So this is also like a follow-up from that, last week's episode.
One gives more white hair.
Exactly. We established that. So, this 9 to 5, please have mercy on us.
I also just want to add here, like, God bless the quote-unquote the baddies of Lagos.
Yes.
So keeping us in business and keeping other restaurants and things in business. No, seriously, because first of all, they are able to attract micro-influencers, able to attract people to come to these places.
The sponsors.
Yes, able to attract sponsors. They are still used to the nice things. The bad economy hasn't hit them yet, so they still come and say, I want your prawn, something. So without the baddies, I'm sure we'd have sold a lot of prawn. So I'd like to say thank you to the bodies.
So thank you to all bodies out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Bring the sponsors out. And the